Well, good morning. Markets tried to catch their breath, but Wall Street still limped into the weekend. Hey everyone, it's Saturday morning, February 14th, and welcome back to Capital Markets Quickie. I'm your host, Endrit Sella, here to break down yesterday's market action in just 2 minutes. Quick note before we dive in. Today's episode is brought to you by AMF Capital, Asset Management, Frankfurt. Learn more about our funds and strategies at amf-capital.de. All right, let's get started. So, U.S. stocks lost momentum into the close as investors digested a cooler-than-expected inflation report and what it might mean for interest rates. The Standard & Poor's 500 hovered just above flat, the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished up 0.1%, while the Nasdaq slipped 0.2%. Zooming out to the full week, it was a rough one. The Dow and the Standard & Poor's 500 both dropped more than 1%, and the Nasdaq was down more than 2%. Now, the big macro story. Inflation. Fresh data showed consumer prices rising 0.2% month-over-month in January and 2.4% year-over-year. That was softer than expected and immediately stirred up rate cut talk. Markets are now revisiting the idea of a June rate cut, with many traders expecting a quarter-point move. Most bets still point to 2 cuts by the end of 2026, but there's a growing camp betting on even more easing. That said, yesterday's moves came after a heavy sell-off driven by fresh fears around artificial intelligence. Selling pressure spread beyond tech into so-called old economy sectors like real estate, logistics, and transportation. Tech stocks got hit hard, with all 7 of the so-called Magnificent 7 closing lower. On the earnings side, it was a mixed bag. Applied Materials jumped after issuing an upbeat outlook, pointing to strong demand tied to artificial intelligence. Pinterest, on the other hand, slid after missing revenue expectations, with experts questioning how artificial intelligence could impact its platform. Elsewhere, Rivian surged more than 25% after a strong fourth-quarter earnings beat, saying its new mid-size model remains on track for delivery before summer. Moderna also jumped about 10% after beating revenue expectations, helped by steady demand for its COVID vaccine. So, softer inflation, shaky confidence in tech, and markets still searching for solid footing. Alright, that wraps up today's Capital Markets Quickie. Join me again Monday morning for more market updates. See you then.